Oh my god, I hate when it does that. So we have figured out what we're gonna do for block height when it comes to our World Trade Center. And this is before we do or continue with number 6. I'm actually gonna build the actual height of number 3 and number 7. So it's gonna be 69 blocks. So I basically gotta do what? That's what? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 30, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69. Actually, no, 69 would be appropriate for number 7. Because this gets us up to Y level 9. So let's actually go over to number 7 and then we can bring it up to Y level 9. Will it look good? No. If I cut it like right here. Yeah, actually that will do. That will do. So that's where our number 7 is gonna be, most likely. And I know what we're gonna say. But like, y'all are probably gonna say like, Creepers, why are you building the height of those buildings before you even construct those buildings? It's mainly so that I can get a sense of scale. Because you gotta remember, I'm doing this pretty much blind. But now, like I said, ooh. Oof. But if you know what World Trade Center number 7 was, then y'all are a true OG. So I have actually gotten, like I said, the official outline for our World Trade Center number 7. But what we need to know though is that this front part, this front middle part, actually goes in. So basically, it will go in, and then basically it'll be kind of like that, almost. When we get all the way up there. So like I said, we'll do number 7, and then we'll do most likely actually number 3, and then we'll do 1, and then we'll do 2. But when we do 1, we're gonna save the antenna for when we actually get a sense of scale that we like. Because World Trade Center 1 and 2 gotta be taller than 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. They gotta be taller, and they gotta at least look good. They can't be like trashy builds. I'm not saying, this build's trashy or anything. Because believe me, I put so much time, sweat, energy, bathroom breaks into this one project, and we're not even done with our city. We still got multiple buildings to do. We still gotta figure out what we want to do for a capital, which I know I want to do some type of like kind of like how they have it in the United Kingdom. It is a kingdom, but it's democracy, so it's still got like the king and the queen, but they're not like in charge. They're like secondary in charge. And I kind of want to do something like that. Make it, better in a way for our city. But sometimes I do feel the urge to stop every once in a while, because I don't know why, but like I got like that like feeling that my I feel like my head is spinning, even I know for a fact that my head is not spinning. I think it might be because I haven't consumed something today. Like I haven't consumed, a meal. Like food. So like I said, remember, so 1, no, not 1. 4, 5, and 6 are the typical office buildings. Remember that 4 and 6 are 9-story office buildings. 5 is not 9-story, it's a 5-story, which we already technically did. What I mean by that is, so remember, 3 windows means it's 9 stories, 2 windows means it's 5 stories. And I got that to do for World Trade Center 7. When we get our World Trade Center done, we will do the 9/11 memorial. A 9/11 memorial. We are going to make a memorial for 9/11, so that we can honor the people that, well, sadly lost their life. Because actually, if you go to New York City, they actually have people. They actually have the people that died both in the 1997. I mean, not 1997. I mean, 1993 truck bomb, which was under the concourse of the North Tower of the World Trade Center. And of course, the people that died on 9/11. 9/11 is like that one thing that you're not really supposed to say a lot of on YouTube, because if you say a lot of it on YouTube will see it as like as you saying like, oh haha, they're making fun of 9/11. We should put an end to them, and then they automatically put an end to it. That's not what we're doing. I'm just simply telling y'all. And actually, if you go to New York City, you can actually see like the remains of some areas that were actually still affected by 9/11, but it's preserved as trinkets and memories of that day. Actually, I never said this, but my public safety teacher, Mr. Perkel, I'm so surprised I remember his name. He was actually there on 9/11. He was right there at the Twin Towers when it all happened. He played the footage, of them fixing the manhole cover, because of apparent gas leak, and then the camera turned because they saw like the plane shadow, and then they saw it crash into the North Tower. He played that video, and we immediately started saying, wow. And the one thing he told the entire class before we continued with that was, he said, whatever you do not laugh. This is actually sad, and not a lot of people deserved it, obviously. And also, you also had to do the FEMA tests, which was the 100, the 200, the 800, no, the 700, and the 800. Which, by the way, if you're wondering how I did on all those, if you got all four of them done, you didn't have to do nothing else for this class. You could just sit back, chill for a little while. The only time that you could not chill was during tests or something. But yeah, he had because he either worked as an EMT or he worked as a firefighter, like a volunteer firefighter. I think he was an EMT. I think he did say he was trapped under the rubble. But if you go to the Oculus, which is the train station hub, one of the doors that leads to one of the old railway platforms that runs directly under the World Trade Center at that time, it says this X represents danger. And just letting you know, 26 states sent support for this. And the states are actually surprisingly true. One of the states that was there, and my mom and my dad saw, was because I remember my mom and my dad, they worked at a gas station in Massachusetts. Yes, Massachusetts did send people to go help with the search and rescue, but also to send firefighters and EMTs and police. The police give the firefighters and the paramedics a private escort to New York City for this, because of the significant, By the way, there was a lot of people that actually had trauma from this. Like a lot of the people that got trapped under the rubble. So you gotta remember, if you were in the towers when they collapsed, you're probably not surviving, because that's like, the towers are like probably almost about that high on the Bank of Manhattan over there, and if it falls down and then you get crushed underneath, you're probably gonna have like some internal bleeding, and you probably won't be making it. But a lot of people, when they got pulled from the rubble, they ended up getting, like I said, they obviously got transferred to the hospital. That was like the main thing. They got transported to the hospital. No, I never actually said hospital. I always said hospital, or hospital, like something like that. I always say something like that. I never said hospital. Never. Because I started with my words at that time. But so what they ended up doing was you had two choices. Let the flames engulf you in the buildings itself, basically making it so that you cannot breathe, you cannot escape, or you would have to, and this is actually what people did. Do not try it at home, and YouTube, please do not take down this video. This is for educational purposes only. People jumped from the windows of the burning Twin Towers. Since the World Trade Center Twin Towers did not have no ventilation air ducts, well, they did have ventilation air ducts, but none that could like filter out fire. What ended up happening was it created a vacuum of smoke that trapped people in the buildings. And like I said, you had two choices. Either you jump from the building, and you will definitely not survive the fall because you're not playing God, or you could just jump out of the window and plummet to your death. Like I said, you will not survive. Or you could just stay in the towers and try evacuating as you can. But when the planes hit the Twin Towers, it actually cut the elevators. It did cut the elevators in two, but it did also sever stairways, basically making it so that you couldn't even escape out of the buildings. Over 2,500 people died on 9/11. Most were either family. Most of them were family or friends, co-workers. Actually, you didn't know the bottom few layers of the World Trade Center Twin Towers were actually daycares. Like in 1993, like I said, you had the truck bomb in the concourse of the North Tower. Concourse, which was the concourse area, which was like the parking garage, or the garage. Someone detonated a thing of explosives, which, if you don't know, detonating a thing of explosives to cause like city damage like that is considered to be known as domestic terrorism. If you commit domestic terrorism against the United States, the FBI will put you on a list, and you will not be able to stop it. The reason why I say it like that is because it is true. There was this one guy that was on the FBI list, and he never made it out. Of course, I'm talking about Osama bin Laden. He was on the CIA, FBI, and the federal government's radar. Why? Because he was the leader of Al-Qaeda, the military organization group created during the coup that was in Afghanistan when the Soviet Union invaded Afghanistan in the 80s. Because what ended up happening was Osama bin Laden and a lot of his guerrilla fighters joined the United States and helped. And so, the United States did help Osama bin Laden and help a lot of the people there liberate their homeland from the Russians, which was like I said, Soviet Union at this time. This is like before the collapse. I think this is like 1980 something, either 1980 something or it's like in like the 70s. Now, the reason why the United States went to war, but the reason why Al-Qaeda attacked the United States is kind of weird because I cannot explain it for some reason because like I don't know, but the years following after September 11th, 2001, the United States and a lot of the other world leaders got a message from Osama bin Laden himself in his compound in Pakistan or Pakistan. I say Pakistan, y'all say Pakistan. It really depends, where, which part of the world you're from. Not saying that's a bad thing, but it's like Jonathan Irons from Call of Duty, Advanced Warfare, how he says the world's probably asking one dangerous question: why did I attack the United States? The United States has been at constant war, for over 100 years. But this is not how it is for Al-Qaeda. The reason why they attacked us like that is because they wanted to see if the United States was vulnerable. We were vulnerable. We did actually end up pulling out of Afghanistan. We did have an embassy and a base in Kabul, which is the capital. We did have a U.S. embassy there. A lot of the U.S. embassies that are around like the Middle East countries and Asian countries, especially like Iran, Iraq, Kuwait, Bahrain, Qatar, Yemen. No, I don't think we have any. Definitely Oman, Saudi Arabia, Jordan, Syria, Jordan, Israel, Palestine. Like, a lot of those embassies were actually attacked by foreign powers like Iran. Because Iran did attack the U.S. embassy in Tehran. Is it Tehran or is it Tehran? I think it's Tehran. But yeah, when that happened, it was pretty much interesting. Nobody was questioning if we were gonna get attacked or not. Because a foreign power attacking the United States in a state of peace, and we didn't even do anything to even start this conflict with Afghanistan. And then, of course, 2 2 years later, after 9/11, we initiated, Operation, the operation. It was known as Operation. I know what it was. It was Operation. Oh yeah, it was like it was just the war on terror. The countries that were mainly affected by the war on terror, and we're talking like war related, like, so this is like the countries invading this country, or overthrowing this country, or establishing a new government in that country. It was mainly the United States, backed by UK. Yes, UK did help support us during our whole little 9/11 crisis. Even though I did say whole little 9/11 crisis. I know that sounded kind of offensive, so I do apologize. But they did join us in the invasion of Iraq and the invasion of Afghanistan. The reason why we invaded Afghanistan was mainly just so that we could wipe out Al-Qaeda and their leaders. Their leaders were mainly Osama bin Laden, but at this point, Osama bin Laden, like I said, he went into hiding in Pakistan. Actually, not too far from the capital, actually. And then y'all probably know what happened in 2011. About 10 years after the September 11th attacks, President Obama addressed the nation saying, and I'm going to quote these famous words, so, you guys have been warned. He said, I've been informed late last night, around 12:30 in the morning, that Osama bin Laden, the leader of Al-Qaeda, was killed and murdered by the United States SEAL Team 6. We have ideal reports that it was him, and that we did execute a thorough military operation to eliminate him and his leadership from ever terrorizing another country again. And these are Obama's exact words, just letting you know. So, but he did say that late last night, Osama bin Laden was shot and killed by SEAL Team 6. He did say that. I can confirm that he did say that. I actually did watch that video on it, because there is actually a video on YouTube about that. So if you guys want to learn a little bit more about that, then you guys can go watch YouTube. I think it's like on Fox News or something. I don't know. I don't watch Fox News. Well, if you don't want me hitting you, then why are you there? Like, oh my god. Swear to God. Swear to God, like, sheep and such are they're so stupid. They don't even know how to like keep themselves from getting killed. Like, but yeah. So SEAL Team 6 did shot and kill Osama bin Laden. But anywho, let's change subjects before I get demonetized. So, as we're working on, like I said, our World Trade Center complex, we are going to start construction on number 7. I'm at least going to get the front facade set up so I can see what we're dealing with. And then we can start working on, okay, so, and then we can start like working on, okay, so this is like what we want and how we want it. because even though, and it's gonna be kind of weird because it will be dark for because I know like the top area of Tower 2 will have like weather equipment, and we'll have like weather equipment and such. But like I said, we're gonna do number 7 next, and then we'll do number 3, and then we'll do number 1 and 2. But if I do number 1, we're not doing the antenna until we got. But we're not going to do the antenna until we got. But so this is what we got for our complex. I think out of all the buildings for this complex, I think the one building I really like is number 4. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because number 4 looks like it the best, or if it's because like this is like the money shot right here. But yeah, you can kind of see like that like height difference. But we're gonna start doing number 7. But like I said, we got this whole little area in here, and I want to do the. Cause I'm thinking, right? So where 7 is this is like where you would have like the road that goes and cuts through 7, or it cuts where 7 and 5 and 6 are. I hope my game doesn't freeze like that again. Like, look at that. But like I said, so we'll mainly build number 7 mainly out of polished granite. I've been thinking, right? So I do like the shape. I do like the shape, right? But I'm gonna update it once more by making it a 3 every single time. So that but so like we said, and then we're gonna do something like that, and then we're gonna bring this all the way down. So there's like 7 of these, 7 of these. So and I'm gonna bring this up. Does it look like the right size for this building? Actually, yeah, it actually does look like the right size. I think I did the building right for once. And there will be windows on the back, I think. Oh yeah, it definitely looks like it now, but it will look a lot better once we get the wall in. But we're already at 45, and we already did this. And we got our heights marked out now. So this means the World Trade Center Twin Towers needs to be a little bit taller than World Trade Center 7. Do excuse me. I did just. So right there, where that part of the building is, on number 7, I'm gonna do the build height for Tower 1 and Tower 2, where I'm at. So this goes up to Y level 9, right? So this goes up to Y level 9, and Y level 9 is right there. This means I gotta go up Y level 9 there. 10, 9, 12, 13, 14, so we're gonna say Y level 45. Yeah, Y level 45 for the Twin Towers. Y level 45. We're gonna see what Y level 45 looks like for the North Tower. $45. I'll say a few more. So let's do 63. No, let's do 69. So 69 blocks for right? Would that look like it? That's weird because it's a straight line. Yeah, I can see it being a World Trade Center Twin Tower. So that means that goes all the way up to 69. So this goes all the way up to 69. So when 7's done right there, and then 3's right there, 3 actually looks like it properly, and 7 looks properly right next to it too. But you also gotta remember, we gotta do the tridents, which are those parts in the front on the bottom of the buildings. Yes, I could just go ahead and skip those, but you can't really skip the tridents on the World Trade Center. It's like criminal. So what we'll do is we'll figure out where the tridents are. We'll suggest a height limit for where the tridents will start, going out in like a fork. Of course, the corners will be off off limits, of course. But at least now we know that these are where the World Trade Center Twin Towers are going to go. There's 3, and then there's 7. But anyways, that's all we're going to do for Minecraft. I would like to do more, but I'm starting to get burnt out from playing. Plus, we got so much of it done that I'm actually happy where it is. So y'all know what to do. Like, subscribe, turn your notifications on. We'll see you on the next one. Peace. We'll see you on the next one. And we'll actually most likely get 7 done, and we'll get started on the World Trade Center Twin Towers. But anyways, like, subscribe, turn your notifications on. I'll see you on the next one. Peace. Enjoy y'all's afternoon, and we'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.